Now by Layton Beard, spokesperson for the Automobile Association. Good evening, Layton. So the AA, as you told us last night, you were expecting petrol and diesel to go down. I would imagine you were a little bit surprised to see this very slight increase. Could you explain why it's increased?
Yeah, I mean, we were absolutely surprised, Sally, that there was an increase when we saw the official figures today. The real reason behind it is the increase to the slate levy from around 7 cents to around 15 cents. So that's added another 8 cents to the fuel price. And then obviously an increase to the retail margin of 5 cents. And both of those have essentially wiped out any decreases that we had forecast in our outlook. And, you know, it is a nominal increase and we like to get it right. We normally do 99% of the time. Unfortunately, you know, there was very little way of us knowing what was happening with the slate levy, and that's really what has happened with the fuel price overnight.
Talk to me a little bit more about these levies, because I would imagine there's only so much you can do to sort of add to the burden on South African consumers before these levies just get out of hand.
Well, look, Sally, I mean, I think in our view, the levies have gotten out of hand a long time ago. And every year before the finance minister makes his budget speech in Parliament in February, we make a note saying, please don't increase the levies. And if you do, just increase them by inflation or perhaps even below inflation. They comprise currently around R6.30 of every litre of petrol. So when we're looking at a high of 18 Rand plus, you know, R6.30 of that is going towards taxes. And it's something that we raised when we did our presentation to the Parliamentary Portfolio Committee on Minerals and Resources in April, Sally, where we said, let's have a look at the fuel price. Let's unpack exactly what are the components that go into it. Let's understand whether all of those components are necessary. Can we do away with some of them? Is the road accident fund beneficial? Is it being administered properly? Do we need that levy that costs so much on every litre of fuel? So I agree completely with you. I think that there is something that we need to do with the fuel price, and perhaps looking at that specific levy is one of the things we should be doing.
And how has diesel managed to go down by 15 cents a litre?
Look, it's a different process, and obviously we had predicted that it was going to go down by a little bit more than what it has. I think we're happy that it has gone down. It is an input cost in the manufacturing and agricultural sector, so the fact that it hasn't increased, I think, is good news for consumers across the board. The increase to petrol as well is a 4-cent increase. It's not massive, but it just adds to the record high that we currently have. So, you know, diesel is one of those fuels that's refined differently. It costs different on the international market. You know, it's fortunate, I think, for us that we're seeing a decrease in that going into September.
Now, on the other front, and that, of course, is the ongoing frustration with trying to get a driver's license renewed. We've seen from Gauteng, where we have over 400,000 people trying to get those licenses renewed, that there are some plans now being put into place. The MEC Jacob Mamabola talking about this request a slot program, which is going to see an app launched, a website launched, also that we're going to see more sites through Gautrain, through the RTMC. What is the AA's position on this, and have you seen any sign of when it's actually going to start kicking in?
Well, I haven't seen any sign of when it's going to start kicking in, but you know, to take the cynical approach, we have an online booking system at the moment where you can already request a slot. I think we need to deal with that root problem. It's what the AA has been banging on about for the last couple of years, and we will continue to bang on about it. We can fix one part of the problem. We have to fix every part of the problem. We need proper machines that work in the driving license testing centres. We need an interface to banks to allow people to perform online banking. We need optometrists to upload to the NATO system seamlessly. We need the NATO system to work every single time people go into the centre and not to be slow or offline. There needs to be a lot of people working in those centres. Their hours obviously need to be increased. There's everything that needs to happen. Request a slot. I mean, if it's something that is going to work and is going to assist people getting their bookings, then absolutely, it's something that we will welcome and we will endorse.
Yeah.
The question is what are we doing with the system at the moment? That essentially should be somebody requesting their slot already.
Yeah. Layton, I want to know what is the AA's position on some calls that we simply extend the driver's license to 10 years renewal period. So not every 5 years, but every 10. Does the AA endorse that? Because that would solve the problem immediately, wouldn't it?
Well, it would and it wouldn't, Sally. It would create a short-term solution. But remember, in 10 years, everybody's going to need to renew their licenses again. So it'll obviously be phased in. I think it's something we've supported. We're one of the voices that has been calling for that extension, either 7 or 10 years. The only caveat that we've added is after 7 years, and you need to submit an eye test, which is essentially all that you do at the moment. And if there was an online payment system, that could facilitate that as well. So I think certainly we would support that call. Again, we can have a 20-year period if we wanted to, but if the base system is not fixed and if those systems aren't in place, it will amount to nothing. We need to fix that system, not only for now, Sally, but for the future as well. And that for us is the key.
Thank you so much. Layton Beard, spokesperson for the Automobile Association.